Personal Protective Equipment or PPE. Welcome to the Personal Protective Equipment or PPE training session. PPE is your first line of defense against potential hazards on construction sites, whether you are working on a pipeline, road construction, building projects, or during welding and hot jobs. In this session, we will explain the types of PPE you will need, when to wear it, and how it protects you from injuries and illnesses. It's important to understand that PPE is not optional, it's essential to your safety and well-being on the job. Why PPE is essential on construction sites? Construction sites are filled with hazards that can cause serious injury or illness. PPE acts as a protective barrier against these risks. Some common hazards include falling objects, sharp tools, flying debris, chemicals, noise, and extreme temperatures. PPE helps reduce the risk of injury or exposure to these hazards. Without it, your chances of getting hurt increase significantly, and in some cases, it can even be life-threatening. Types of PPE you need to wear on work site. On construction sites, there are several types of PPE, and each one is designed to protect you from specific risks. Here's a breakdown. Head protection, safety helmets, hard hats protect you from head injuries caused by falling objects or impacts. Always wear a hard hat when working in areas where overhead hazards are present. Standard ANSI Z89.1 USA N397 EU. Eye and face protection, safety glasses, face shields, safety glasses or goggles protect your eyes from flying debris, chemicals, and dust. If you are working with chemicals, welding, or handling materials that could splash into your eyes, always wear eye protection. Face shields provide full face protection, especially when welding or grinding. Standard ANSI Z87.1 USA N166 EU. Hearing protection, earplugs, earmuffs. Construction sites can be noisy, especially during tasks like demolition or operating heavy machinery. Hearing protection helps prevent hearing loss from prolonged exposure to loud noise. Standard ANSI S3.19 USA N352 EU. Respiratory protection, masks, respirators. Respirators protect your lungs from inhaling harmful dust, fumes, vapors, or gases. You'll need to wear a respirator when welding, handling toxic chemicals, or working in areas with poor ventilation. Standard ANSI Z88.2 USA N149 EU. Hand protection, gloves. Gloves protect your hands from cuts, burns, chemical exposure, and abrasions. Choose the right gloves for the job, whether it's chemical-resistant gloves, cut-resistant gloves, or insulated gloves for electrical work. Standard ANSI ISIA 105 USA N388 EU. Foot protection, safety shoes, safety boots protect your feet from heavy objects, sharp tools, and falls. Steel-toe boots also protect your feet from crushing injuries and provide extra ankle support. Standard ANSI Z41 USA and ISO 20345 EU. Body protection, high-visibility clothing, flame-resistant clothing. Wear high-visibility clothing, especially if you are working near moving vehicles or equipment. Flame-resistant clothing is a must when performing hot work or working near welding operations. Standard ANSI 107 USA and ISO 20471 EU for visibility and ISO 11612 for flame resistance. Each type of PPE has its purpose, and it's essential to wear the right PPE for the job you are doing. When to wear PPE on construction sites. Knowing when to wear PPE is just as important as knowing what to wear. Here's a quick guide. Before starting any job, always check the task at hand and assess the potential hazards. If there are risks such as falling objects, chemicals, or excessive noise, PPE is required. When working in hazardous areas, this includes construction zones where there is excavation work, welding, or demolition. These areas pose higher risks, so you must wear the proper PPE. During welding and hot work, PPE becomes critical when dealing with open flames, sparks, and chemicals. Always wear welding helmets, gloves, and flame-resistant clothing in these situations. When handling chemicals or hazardous substances, whether you are mixing, applying, or cleaning up chemicals, make sure you are wearing appropriate gloves, eye protection, and sometimes a respirator, depending on the chemical. During transport and heavy machinery operations, wear high-visibility vests when working near equipment and vehicles to ensure you are seen. This is crucial for preventing accidents involving moving equipment. Correct use of PPE. Using PPE correctly is just as important as wearing it. Here's how to ensure that you are using your PPE the right way. Check the condition of your PPE. Inspect your gear before use. If your gloves are torn, your respirator is damaged, or your helmet has cracks, report it and get a replacement. Proper fit. Make sure your PPE fits correctly. A loose helmet, ill-fitting gloves, or poorly adjusted respirator can reduce the level of protection it offers. Follow manufacturer instructions. Always read and follow the instructions provided with your PPE. These will explain how to wear, clean, and maintain your equipment properly. Never share PPE. PPE is personal protective equipment. It's important that you wear PPE for welding and hot work. When performing welding or hot work, your PPE requirements are even more specific. Welding helmets with face shields to protect your face and eyes from sparks, UV radiation, and molten metal. Flame-resistant clothing. Wear jackets, pants, and gloves made of flame-resistant materials to prevent burns. Heat-resistant gloves. Protect your hands from burns and heat exposure while welding or handling hot equipment. Respirators. Welding produces fumes that can be toxic, so wearing a respirator is essential, especially if ventilation is inadequate. Foot protection. Wear steel-toe boots to protect your feet from falling objects and molten metal. Maintaining PPE. PPE is an investment in your safety, but it's only effective if it's properly maintained. Here's what you need to do to take care of your PPE. Clean your gear regularly. Dirty PPE can reduce its effectiveness. Clean gloves, helmets, goggles, and clothing according to the manufacturer's instructions. Store your PPE properly. Keep it in a clean, dry place when not in use. Don't leave it exposed to harsh weather conditions or chemicals that could degrade it. Replace damaged PPE. If your helmet is cracked, gloves are torn, or your boots have holes, get replacements immediately. Damaged PPE can't protect you as effectively. Your own and that it's suited to your size and needs. Don't share it with others. PPE and emergency situations. In case of emergencies, your PPE becomes even more crucial. Chemical spill. Wear gloves, goggles, and a respirator to avoid exposure. If a large spill occurs, evacuate the area and report it. Fire or explosion. Wear flame-resistant clothing, boots, gloves, and a helmet to protect yourself from burns and flying debris. Heavy machinery or falling objects. Always wear a hard hat and steel-toe boots when working in areas with heavy equipment or overhead work. Worksite safety: good versus bad practices. At any worksite, safety should always be a top priority. However, unsafe practices still occur, putting workers at serious risk. Let's look at some common bad practices and how they should be rectified to ensure a safer workplace. Here, we see a worker engaged in rebar work without essential personal protective equipment. No face shield, no safety glasses, no mask, and no hearing protection. This exposes the worker to flying metal particles, dust inhalation, and loud noise levels that can cause hearing loss over time. The correct practice is to always wear the required PPE. A face shield and safety glasses protect against flying debris, a mask prevents dust inhalation, and earplugs reduce the risk of hearing damage. Here, we see another unsafe practice: working on shuttering without a helmet or gloves. Without a helmet, the worker is at risk of serious head injury from falling objects. And without gloves, sharp nails and splinters pose a high risk of cuts and punctures. The right way to work safely is by wearing a helmet for head protection and gloves to prevent hand injuries. These simple precautions can prevent serious accidents. Another common but extremely dangerous mistake is wearing a safety harness but not anchoring it properly. This gives a false sense of security, but in reality, it offers no protection in case of a fall. A safety harness is only effective when it is correctly anchored. Always ensure your lifeline is securely attached to an approved anchorage point before starting work at height. Ill-fitting PPE is another overlooked hazard. Loose coveralls can get caught in machinery, an oversized helmet may fall off, and damaged gloves offer no real protection. PPE should always fit properly and be in good condition. A well-fitted helmet stays secure, gloves provide proper hand protection, and correctly sized coveralls prevent entanglement hazards. Grinding work produces fine metal dust and particles that can be harmful when inhaled. But here, we see a worker wearing a dust mask incorrectly. A dust mask should always be worn correctly, covering both the nose and mouth with a snug fit. A properly sealed mask helps prevent inhalation of harmful particles and ensures respiratory protection. By following these good practices, we can create a safer work environment for everyone. Remember, safety is not just about rules, it's about protecting lives. Let's work together to ensure that every worker goes home safely at the end of the day. Let's summarize what we've learned. Remember, PPE is your personal responsibility. It's not just about compliance, it's about keeping yourself safe. Always wear the correct PPE, inspect it before use, and maintain it in good condition. When in doubt, ask your supervisor for guidance. The right PPE can prevent injuries, save lives, and keep you working safely. Thank you for your attention and commitment to safety. Thank you for completing this PPE training session. Stay safe and ensure you are always using the proper protective equipment on the job.
This is all about today's topic. Thanks for watching Phani EHS Info. And don't forget to subscribe our channel to get immediate notification of our videos. Share our videos to your friends and colleagues to create safety awareness. If you have any questions and requirements, please comment in comment box.